Do I have no face if you can't see my face, or do I still have a face even though you don't see the face? That is the philosophical question that we're going to ask ourselves today when I review the manga that I just read. Hello, beautiful bookworms! My name is Katarina and welcome to my channel, and today we are doing the I am dressed in pajamas kind of thing for a review of a manga, a volume 1 that I've just read and wanted to bring to your attention since it's a little bit confusing, it's a little bit odd, and I haven't heard anyone talk about it. However, it does sound pretty good and I am intrigued for the rest of it. So the manga that I'm going to review today is called Shadow's House. This is volume 1 and it was made by Somato, which I do believe it might be a pen name for the artist and author of the manga. So I've only read volume 1, even though I do have volume 2 to read, and I do believe that I will read it this month still since I am incredibly curious about what is going on in this volume. However, this is a very strange manga, not like normally I used to read kind of manga. I don't know what the genre for this is even, so I'm going on a limb and on a stretch to try and figure it out, and I decided to bring it to your attention since I haven't heard anyone talking about Shadow's House, and it might be a very specific niche for some of you guys that like mystery, horror, and drama. So yeah, let's get into it. So Shadow's House, at least this first volume, which I always feel like it's kind of a first chapter of a series, it's about this living doll, or at least that's how she's known, and she has known herself through all of her life, this little girl. She is called Emilico, and Emilico works for this noble family, specifically for Miss Kate, which is this person here that has no face. Miss Kate has no face, is a shadow, a noble shadow, and Emilico serves her as a living doll. So Emilico's face is supposed to be Miss Kate's face, and Emilico herself is supposed to be Kate in a way. This is kind of strange though, because the first that you are introduced to Emilico, she has her own mind and thoughts, and even though she dresses and uses her hair like Miss Kate, they are two very different people. Emilico is very young, she's just been born or created, and so she doesn't know a lot about life, she doesn't know how to read, so she doesn't really know how to properly serve Miss Kate. And the only thing that she does is that every day when Miss Kate awakes, because she gives off this sort of soothe, which is like a black thingy all over the bedroom while she sleeps, Emilico cleans Miss Kate's room every day, sometimes more than once a day. And we know that this shadow thingy that comes out of Miss Kate is directly related to negative feelings or emotions or situations. Emilico apparently is supposed to act as Miss Kate. She's not supposed to have opinions, she's not supposed to have a mind of her own, unless she's with other living dolls like her, and then she can entertain them and talk with them like herself and not like Miss Kate. This also has kind of like, although it has this nobility sort of drama thing, it also has a little bit of horror mingled into it. We do get a little snip of Miss Kate's perspective of her own life, and her reactions through and towards Emilico are incredibly strange, very emotional, and most of them cannot be entirely explained, which I have to say that I love, since I think that the relationship between the two of them is one of the best points of the manga, and the thing that will be most explored, because Emilico is not exactly a perfect living doll as she should be, because she's still very young and she doesn't know how to act, and Miss Kate apparently is not exactly how the shadow noble people should be acting as well. So this is also very intriguing. We don't see them with other people a lot, however it does happen with shadows and with living dolls alike. And I'm very excited for the second volume, since I cannot entirely say if this is actually a horror manga or if it's supposed to be just like a drama thing with horror inklings and elements. However, the manga on itself is incredibly dark because everything that Emilico does is to clean this kind of ash that comes out of Miss Kate. And so all of the mansion and all of the rooms and even Emilico herself are always impregnated with that darkness. I am not sure if it's supposed to be a metaphor, however, it brought me a lot of curiosity to see how the author, Somato, is going to explore this in next volumes. Even so, because this one is incredibly small, it actually has, 154 pages, which is not exactly standard, but it's also not exactly that small. I don't know. I'm really, really enjoying this. It has a lot of like this gothic sort of feeling to it. It kind of actually reminds me of, this house that it's kind of haunted. And I don't know if that's what the shadow people are, like nobility haunting people. But apparently, the shadow people do have a face. And Emilico can kind of perceive Miss Kate's expressions through her positions and her voice and her, mannerisms, which not a lot of other living dolls can do for their shadows, because they just behave themselves as dolls and as their reflection. I don't know if that's something to do with like that myth of the other side of the mirror per se. I don't know. This raises me lots and lots of questions, and I thought that I should share it with you since you probably haven't heard of it, or if you have, you probably haven't read it and tried to figure out what it is about, because nobody knows. But I do care. And hopefully, when I read more of this, I can tell you if it goes more to the darker side of the things, or if it remains like this creepy, strange thing without a lot of horror into it. My hope, and from what the little snippet that I've seen of Miss Kate's reactions, this might go downhill pretty fast in a very interesting way. So, very excited to keep reading Shadow's House. So yeah, guys, that's all for today. If you like it, leave a like or subscribe, and tell me down below if you've read Shadow's House or if you know Shadow's House, and if you have any recommendations for horror mangas or other type of mangas that you would like me to read and to talk to you about on this channel. That's going to be all for today. Happy readings to you all. Bye!